Oh, I'm
Tom
sorry.
Segura talked about a great story that he had heard from you that you got to witness live. It's so many people are sharing their great Norm Macdonald stories, and it's so many, and I want to hear them all because it's sad that he's gone, and he was so damn funny, and it's nice to revisit all these amazing stories.
So I was 17. It was 1997, and I think it's possible I was 18. Whatever. I'm a teenager. I'm still in high school. It's 1997, and Iowa City, the place where the University of Iowa is, it's not the Iowa State Fair, as Tom said in the thing, and a lot of people are reposting. It's not the Iowa State Fair. It's Iowa City. They had a thing at Hancher Auditorium, which is where they would have like touring plays and like musicals, and it's a big fancy, the fanciest auditorium like in Iowa City. It's for Cats and Rent and various things like that. And they had an event called Family Night at Hancher presents Saturday Night Live. So it was comedy sports opening or whatever the equivalent of that was. Then Daryl Hammond doing his Bill Clinton stuff. Then Jim Brewer kind of got a little bit edgy, talked about booze. And then Norm Macdonald closed the show in this 2,000-seat theater filled with old people and little kids and people there with their families. And the first joke Norm tells as he walks out, and I say in the thing, and I'll say it to you again, like, I don't do an impression of Norm, but he says, like, I used to be married and I used to jack off to porn more than I fucked my wife. I saw this one porn, it was a beautiful woman gets fucked by a pig, and like people are like lining out. Like they said in the paper the next day, he walked 80% of the thing, and he says like, hey, you imagine you see that woman and you ask her out on a date, she says no, and she fucks pigs for a living. People just like fucking streaming out of there. You're like, now imagine you're that pig and you're to fuck a beautiful woman, and the doctor says cut, you gotta go back to fucking your big fat pig wife. Like in the newspapers in Iowa the next day, there were political cartoons where he has like a shepherd's hook around his neck. He had a political cartoon. He got disinvited from a golf outing the next day, and this was like 97. So in 2017, they did the 20-year anniversary thing for it, and this reporter from the Cedar Rapids Gazette, it's still online. People have sent me the article. Like, you know, people are talking about this thing. I'm quoted in the thing that are talking about it like Tom's described it as like they were talking about a war. But yeah, they're talking about like this night, like it was like this traumatic thing. And my mom was like, she texted me or was messaging me about it because she's like, and I messaged all those boys, like my high school friends that I went with. I went with my mom and like two high school friends. My mom was like, and I messaged their mothers afterwards to let them know that they were going to hear some things, and that, but I was like chaperoning. It was considered like a pretty big deal. At least it was in my little world as a teenager, you know, who I loved Norm. Oh, and then like, this is like 97. And so the internet is just garbage at this point. But I went to like a Norm Macdonald fan page, and people were like, we heard about this thing. Was anybody there? And so like I felt so cool being like I was there. And so I scanned in my program and like all the stuff that I had. And the guy was like, big thanks to Mike in Iowa for sending me this stuff. And I felt so cool that I got like a shout out on this Norm Macdonald like Angel Fire page. You know.
Way back, man. That's a great joke, by the way. Though, what an awesome joke!
And it's the first stand-up show. I don't know if I mentioned this. It's the first show I ever went to, and there's no YouTube or anything. So all I can see of stand-up is late night sets, Comedy Central, and then like buying an album every now and then, which was always just pure filth to my ears. Like you get like a Martin Lawrence tape or
Oh,
like an
yeah.
Adam Sandler CD. It's just like, wow, they're so dirty. So I just assume that if you go to these things, like they're just the filthiest fucking things ever. I thought it was
Comedy in the
amazing.
90s, album comedy in the 90s was a lot of sketch. Like Sandler was sketch more than stand up, like the more popular things I recall.
And you would think that as influential as Sandler was, more people would have done sketch albums, but the only people doing sketches on albums are fucking rappers.
Yeah, Eminem.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of that
Kanye.
stuff. Ken Kniff. That was like the Eminem album. I remember he was like, I'm Ken Kniff. Like he had a weird voice. I can't do the voice. Sorry, everyone, you had to deal with that. But holy shit, though, your first stand-up experience ever, the audience were running for the doors. Did that make you go, I want to be a stand-up comedian?
It felt like such an outlaw type of thing. I think that I always wanted to, or always wondered if I could, but it just, where would you do it? You know, like, where? Because like I talked to people from Chicago. I'm talking to you about this tomorrow on my own show, but like I'm picturing like Josh Cheney and different people who grew up in Chicago who knew that as soon as they were turning 21 that they wanted to do stand-up, and they knew where to do it. I had none of that in Muscatine, Iowa, and then in Iowa City there was no comedy scene in Iowa City, like at the University of Iowa. So it's like there's literally one place that has a comedy night when I'm like a junior, and I'm like, if that host graduates, then I might ask if I can do it. That's how it's fucking started.
You know, that's interesting because I mean, I've heard that enough, but I was reading a NORM MACDONALD article this morning. It was an interview that he did, and he was talking about just coming up as a stand-up and why he thought Canadian comedians were so good. Because the way we think Chicago comedians are better than New York and LA in a lot of sense, like where you start off at, it's like you start off in Chicago, you kind of have an edge because there was no industry in Canada. He's like, none of us thought we'd be on TV or anything like that, or write for shows or whatever. We just wanted to be the funniest stand-ups we could be because there really wasn't a scene where he was. And then he, you know, obviously went down to Toronto and stuff like that, went to Yuck Yucks and all those clubs. Or was it Edmonton? I can't remember what city. And then he went to, you know, obviously New York and LA and all that stuff. But like, it's crazy that when there isn't anything there, your expectations are so low. Your environment really matters so much. That's why I think me and you texted about this. I mean, we're getting a little off gears here, but when people talk about Hollywood nepotism being a problem, I don't think it's any bigger problem as like nepotism in the plumbers union. I think it's your environment. If your parents are Hollywood famous, or not even famous, but work in Hollywood, you grew up thinking I could do that too. Right. But if you grew up in a blue collar neighborhood like that I grew up in, like real working class, and you tell your friends, I want to act one day, they'll all be like, oh, Killian wants to fuck people's dads. Like they'll think you're like a pussy. They'll think you're like a little bitch. No, because nobody does that. That's just not your world. It's not your environment.
Yeah. And also it's like, you're telling them, I want to raise above my station, and I feel that I am more talented than the rest of you in a way.
Very true. Yeah, you kind of give that off. But yeah, so you grew up in Iowa. You're like, I don't think this is a thing you could do. But I'm sure seeing Norm that night made you think, damn, that dude literally said whatever the hell he wanted. How cool was that?
There was something very awesome about it. It was also a lesson to me that you can be awesome at something and have 80% of the people hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember thinking anything bad about it. I thought it was cool from start to finish. And the fact that my mom was like freaked out about it was probably helpful.
Yeah, that's true. Know,
like if my mom was like, I remember when my mom was like, I kind of like this song. Who is it? And it was Pearl Jam. And I was like, shut up. Like, you're not allowed to like, because she used to do this thing where she'd be like, I'd be listening to like a Nirvana album, and she'd be like, you better take this back to the store. I think it's broken. Like, and that was like her joke, but I loved it because you don't want your mom to like the music that you're into, or it's like whack. But in Tom's thing, when he was talking about the story that I loved, that I've thought about a lot in the past since yesterday, was how the comedians deferred to him. Some of the biggest, like SNL produces, obviously, some of the biggest comedy stars in the world, and how people like Sandler and Rock and whoever else, like I'm sure Conan also would defer to him in comedic situations because they didn't care who the biggest box office star was. They knew that he was the fucking funniest dude.
Yeah.
And so many like great people have mentioned like Turd Ferguson, which is so
those were
great.
The best. All the Jeopardy stuff.
The Jeopardy stuff, the Conan couches when he rips on the woman from Melrose Place, I want to say.
Courtney Thorne Smith she was plugging a movie and he just could not stop trashing what the movie
Chairman of the board, Because
Carrot Top was in it too, and all it was so funny. And the Moth story, legendary. Just he had such a great style. I love Norm Macdonald's style because I don't know, I'm very comfortable on stage, but every now and then I think to myself, if there's a little bit of too much quiet, I sense I'm like one of those drummers that will just speed it up sometimes when it's like you got a damn beat. And I feel myself like if it's not going exactly the way it should, where I'm like, oh, these jokes aren't hitting the way they should. I'll catch myself speeding up my delivery a little bit because I really want to grab them. And it works a lot of times. But when I listen to the playback, I'm like, oh, man. But then I see Norm, and that dude could just calmly sit in it, knowing that the punchline is going to do what the punchline's supposed to do. Dry, I guess you'd use the word. But the word dry, sometimes I feel like people use like, oh, real dry wit. I'm like, dry is great. I'm a fan of a dry wit.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was selling you anything. That's dry.
Good call.
As always, I was waiting for the joke to start, and it finished before it started.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I'm Veronica.
And I'm Valdemar.
And today we're watching Norm Macdonald yet again. I'm gonna ignore you. And today we're watching Norm Macdonald yet again. And this is a kind of a follow-up a little bit to the video that we watched last time, which was Norm Macdonald is married to a real battle axe. Because in that video we had an important question for you, and that was who's that other guy who's sitting in the chair by Norm Macdonald and not saying anything. And we found out he's Andy.
I knew he was Andy. I knew his name.
And what is his surname? We did not find it. Well, we found that out, but we do not remember. But we found out that he is, in fact, part of the show, and that he's sitting there.
I knew that before. I told you that he is a part of the show.
But you were asking them if that's how it is. And you were like, what's about this? What's this deal about him?
Yes, but I knew that he is a part of the show.
Yeah, you knew.
You found out this.
Yeah, I found this
I knew.
out. And your knowledge was confirmed then. But anyway, a lot of you said that Norm likes poking jokes at him. And that we should... Yeah, I did that. I know. And that we should check out one of the jokes that he made, and specifically this one.
Yeah, you recommended this video. It's called Norm Macdonald Swedish-German joke. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty short one, so... Well, let's see. Let's see.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
For Norm, always.
Always ready. There you go.
He's good, man. He's good.
Ooh, what is this quality?
We did a quick search to see if there's a better quality of the video available, but there's not, so we're just gonna have to focus on listening.
He's good, man. He's good.
That's a can-do, Norm. You came charging out like
that. Yeah, because people, look at this audience, man. They don't care about that. Why? They like jokes.
The Swedes are with you.
They got flags. They got flags.
Yeah, they got flags, and they're scoring you. You've got 3 9s and an 8 so far.
Wow.
For your
Where
entrance.
Where are you guys from, man? Oh, sweet. That's Sweden?
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Everything's good about... You know, you're an Irishman. Me mother, she was orange. Me father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever... I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish-German.
Swedish-German? Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, because...
It's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish-German. I'll tell you why it's funny, man, because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, have you ever... He said, you know Andy Richter?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia and he said, you know Andy Richter?
Oh, yeah, you guys know
It's mean.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, have you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
Really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish German. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah, well, now this lines up perfectly. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first...
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No. You're down to 6. You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up.
You can get him back.
Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fellow says, he says, man, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he talks, you know?
Yeah.
He says, man, there was an old prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood. Sure. Yeah. And I need a woman, you know. And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, you know. He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, you know, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, you know, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar. Yeah. He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs. And if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, you know, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. You know, this is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this. You know, this got to be all secret. Nobody. I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people will know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Why?
Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
At least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
That was a nice...
you weren't gay.
Right. Yeah. Well, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
But that's exactly him, because the joke is well over, but it's not over. He's like, oh, I like this joke. You were raped. You didn't get that? It was the turtle.
As always, I was waiting for the joke to start, and it finished before it started.
That was really, really good. Oh my god, thank you for recommending that. I was really... This is so nonsensical, what the hell? Like, why?
I don't understand. Like, did he came up with this joke just sitting there when he heard that he is Swedish German, or he planned?
He has like a stock of jokes, and then he put him into that one because like he wanted to tell it earlier, but he was like, I can actually just say it was Andy who was violated sexually. Oh my god. But I love how Conan just stood up and he was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm leaving.
The funniest part of this joke was how he was keep repeating Andy.
The Swedish German.
Andy Richter, I forgot.
Andy Richter, the Swedish German, yeah.
We watched with Veronica. We watched Play It Again some. the movie of Woody Allen
yesterday.
And the funniest part for Veronica, the best part of the movie for Veronica, was how this guy, Dick,
Every time.
how he was repeating his numbers.
It's so hilarious though. If you have a good joke, why not do it 15 times? I say do it 15 times. It's just because it was so funny. Because he was like a financial broker, right? And he had to call wherever he was so that people would get back to him. And then he would say, I'll be here at this number for 10 minutes. And then I will be going at this number for 10 minutes. And then I'll be somewhere. And then at more and more ridiculous locations, he would call that he's there. Very funny. Top-notch comedy. Really funny. Oh, it was funnier than the bit with the hairdryer.
Definitely.
So yes.
Alright, but it was the only video that people recommended for us about the director?
No, there's stuff to come in the future still. We can all be excited. I think there's so many jokes of Norm that we still haven't watched. I'm so happy. It's so nice. It's so funny.
Okay, well, thank you for watching, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. And, as always, leave us some suggestions, either for other clips of Norm, or other comedians that we haven't watched yet. That helps us a lot, because otherwise you're the only people we trust to recommend us good comedians. Because if we haven't seen them, either of us, then we don't know if they are good or not. So counting on you there. And of course, you could also give us a like and subscribe. And why am I the only one always nagging people about this? It helps us a lot if you subscribe and give a like and comment.
Because I'm not a person to nag other people about things, unlike you. Well,
leave a like for me then, and not for Valdemar. You can leave a like and then say in the comments that it was just for me.
But we will all know for whom did you really subscribe.
Oh, for whom? Okay, bye.
Bye.
I was pretending to be asleep, but I wasn't. And he came in, and he was very quiet, and he came up to me, and he kissed me on that area between my forehead and the bridge of my nose. He kissed me right there, and he said quietly, so as not to wake me, "I love you, son." And then he left. And the next day, I wanted to say something to him at the breakfast table, but he was already out. He was driving hack. That was his second job. But my God, my dad... Anyways, they don't remember that at all. All they remember is, because... Unfortunately, that's the way human beings are. I think if I were to do it, I don't think I ever would. But you never know. You can't predict the future. I could wake up one day and go, I want to have one of them orgasms. That's 3/2 times as strong as the... I knew that advanced math degree was going to come in handy sometime. I just did not know when. This is what I would do if it ever happened to me. I would disguise it so it looked like an actual suicide. Because then, when I was found, my son wouldn't go, ah! He'd go, oh, mysterious. Dad's a mysterious guy. It's going to be a pretty cool story from here on in. So I would pretend, it was a real suicide. Like I would write a note, a suicide note. Do you think this would be funny, just as a practical joke, if you just wrote a suicide note and just blamed some random guy? Would you think that would be, you know what I mean? Like your barber or something like that, it was all Ralph Abernathy's fault. Because the police would be compelled to go to Abernathy's barbershop and go, have you ever heard of a fella named NORM MACDONALD? I go, yeah, he'd come in every couple of months for a trim. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he took his life because of you. wrote it here in this letter. Would you like to keep the... And then Ralph Abernathy would have to spend the rest of his life walking down. Life's hard enough without having to... That's not a good practical joke. I should never have framed that as a good practical joke because it's probably the worst practical joke. You know, it's the kind of practical joke gets you raped by the devil for all of time. I came here from Las Vegas, Nevada, and when I was on the air, where do airplanes go from? Airports. I was in the airport, and guys were asking, everyone wanted my ID, and it occurred to me that ID is a strange abbreviation because I is short for I, and then D is short for identification. So seems to me D is doing most of the legwork on that one. But Vegas was cool. They have a motto in Vegas. They got their own slogan for the city. It says, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," which is not true. You know, you can't kill a guy and then just leave, you know? They'll follow you. They'll find you. They'll bring you back and they'll try you in front of a jury of your peers. So I thought, well, what does it mean anyways? You know, and I ruminated about it. Days and days and nights. Sleepless weeks became sleepless more weeks. And finally, it occurred to me. It was so simple. It was right in front of my face the entire time. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. All it really means is you can go to Vegas, you can have sex with a prostitute, and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet, the Las Vegas prostitutes. You know? Not like these gossipy small town whores back where you live, you know? These fucking blabbermouths. Down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever the fuck that is. Going, "You're Marge Majerison, John Neal's wife?" Well, by God. I took a shit on him last night. In exchange for cash. Nice fella. My favorite thing is the magic phones that we all have. You know, not so long ago, phones were not magic. They were just used to telephone people. And they couldn't take pictures, you know? If you wanted to take a picture, this was only like 20 years ago, you would have to use it. You couldn't use a phone. I remember I tried. Go, "Okay, just hold on there." Just... People go, "What are you doing?" I go, "Don't worry, it's..." I was kind of ahead of my time, but they thought... No, you had to use a camera, and then you would put film in the camera, and then you would go to a photo mat. It was wonderful, and you'd give it to this old man, and he'd go behind some beads and stuff, you know? And then you go, "When am I gonna see them pictures?" And you go, and then you go, "I'll phone you every couple of weeks. How'd that be?" And then one day you got the news. Your pictures were ready. And so you brought your whole family and you all showed up. And you got that envelope. It was wonderful. And you opened that seal, you know. And then there were the pictures, a whole handful. Like you go, "Hey, look at this. It's a picture of Aunt Ida, but her eyes are red like the devil." Maybe Aunt Ida's the devil. "Hey, look at this. It's a picture of my dog, but I put a hat and glasses on it so it would look like a person." Still looks kind of like a dog a little bit. Hey, look, it's a picture of you. But look at your jacket and your hair. Ah! Look at the way you used to dress. Ah! Remember that hair? So you needed that time for the picture to make any sense or have any resonance. You know, nowadays you go, hey, would you like to see a picture of you standing right where you are 1 second ago? I got one here. Your hair is identical. Guess it would be, huh? In the real old days, they would take pictures like, at my house I have a picture of my great-grandfather, and I only have one, you know? Back then, they only had one picture of everybody because they'd pull that thing and it would explode and all that shit, you know? And it was just nobody was happy because it took so long to get your picture taken. And so it's just my great-grandfather going, how long is this gonna take, Sarah? Who's gonna feed them hogs? Damn sure ain't gonna be Marjorie, I'll tell you that. You know what else I like about the magic phone? Wikipedia. Oh, you ever use that? That's the best, man. It makes a democracy out of smartness. Everybody's equal now. You know, used to be a guy would go to school 5, 6 years, and then he'd talk to me, and I'd be like, ah. But now it's all different. I got my magic phone in my pocket. So a guy will say to me, he'll go, hey, Norm, you ever hear of a fella that went by the name of Claude Monet? And I go, why, of course I have. I got to go to the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom. And I'm in there 20, 25 minutes, and I come back. I go, hey, listen, I was just, we were talking about Claude Monet, and I just wanted to say that, you know what I liked about him was his paintings. I liked the way he painted. He was a painter, and I loved how he used the paint to make paintings. And the guy goes, God damn, Norm, I've never been able to stump you in 2 years. I go, But I looked on because I like learning on my Wikipedia, and I looked because I was wondering about fame, the nature of fame, because it's changed so much, you know? And when I was young, it was one thing, and now it's a whole different thing. And I was wondering how many people have been to the moon, like have actually walked on the moon. So I looked on my magic telephone and I found out only 13 or 14 in the entire history of the world. You would think that would make you very, very famous. But no. The last guy who walked, now you'd think he would be famous for being the last guy to be on the moon. His name was Harrison Schmitt. Now, who ever heard of him? Meanwhile, he goes all the way to the moon, hangs around there for a while, and comes back. He's not famous, but a girl with a giant ass is famous. Now, when I was young, a man who went to the moon was famous. And a lady with a giant ass, you'd go, can you stand over there? Because this is... Harrison Schmitt. So how many people that went to the moon do we even know? There was, we know the first ones. There was Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. They went Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. And even the third is hard to remember. His name was Michael Collins. And Michael Collins, in one of the just most unfair jokes, I don't know what it was, he got to go all the way to the moon, but not go on the moon. All the way to the moon, and then that little rope ladder, he wasn't allowed to go down. He had to stay in the lunar capsule while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong went on the moon. And Michael Collins just looking out the window going, are those motherfuckers golfing? Good God, they're golfing. Wait a minute, they got a dune buggy now. I was only allowed to bring so much, and they brought dune buggies. This is... I have to keep up a good face, I guess. And then Buzz and Neil, I'm sure they were nice guys. They didn't want to hurt Michael Collins, you know. So they probably went back, you know, to the lunar capsule, you know, and Michael Collins was like, what do you think, guys? What was the moon like? What was it like? And they were like, It's all right if you like that kind of thing, I guess. I prefer the lunar capsule myself. I can't speak for Buzz, but I really do like the lunar capsule. Because that's what you do. You know, most of your life is mundane. So I had to write a book, right? So it was a book about my life. So they said, you know, just write about your life. So I said, oh, thank you, yeah. Yeah, it turned out to be the greatest comic novel ever written, but when it started, it was supposed to be a memoir, you know, a autobiography. So it makes you think about, well, what is my life? So I started thinking about it, right? So I said, okay, I wake up in the morning and I eat some Count Chocula.
Today, I am back with a very popular recent reaction video that we have done, Norm MacDonald. Yes, we are finally back with part 2 of Norm MacDonald. Today, we are going to be looking at his 12-minute Janice joke. Something like that. Janice is in there somewhere. I don't know why. Highly recommended one from the comments of the last video, and I guess one of his like more popular stand-up moments. He has a lot of other moments, so make sure to let me know down in the comments what other moments you would like me to see of his. And let me know down in the comments any other comedians or people you would like to see me react to, or part 2s that you would like to see me do. Let me know down in the comments. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And while you're down there, go down, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, because it always tells me that you guys want me to do more of these. So, Norm, rest in peace. You are going to provide me with some good entertainment today, my boy. All right, let's get into this reaction video. I'm excited. I'm also really curious how this is gonna turn out to be. This is the only video I could find on YouTube, by the way, so if the quality is like kind of off, don't blame me. Alrighty, let's get it. Janice. I like how we're still talking about the news, by the way. This is all happening on the news, right? The news that, you know, he said that 24-hour news. We love Janice. We're looking for Janice. We all need a Janice in our life, you know? She's not coming out of the woods, though, if that's where she's at. She's dead in the woods. Are you sure about that, Norm? Are you sure about that? It was just the way he set it up, like, I will never kill a lady in cold blood. That was good. I like that part. Hold on. That's it, guys. You kill someone, you just lose your job. It's really not that big of a deal. Come on. You know? If you just... Oh my god. Okay. I mean, that's true when they say, like... when the you know, like, when you never trust the man in the white van with the candy, you know what I mean? I mean, technically, he probably doesn't have candy in his van. He just... No! Oh. I like how the ending was actually the shortest bit. It was the build-up. The build-up play to the ending. The ending was just a really deep cave. But everything else was like the sandwiches, the habits. You gotta follow her. Well, that was very interesting. I can't believe that was it. I would have liked to, like, see, like, a little bit, like, the little clapping ending and maybe his reaction and stuff. That was, like, I don't even know. I like, genuinely, part of me is like, what the fuck did I just listen to? It was a very interesting joke. I guess that's why it's kind of popular. And I was looking at some of the comments and it was kind of saying, like, how, like, with Norm, it's more of the journey of the joke than the ending of the joke. And I kind of get that now. I do kind of understand that now, I'm not gonna lie. Especially after watching this, I'm like, what the fuck? You don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van. Oh my god, that was so no, the funniest bit of, I don't know why it was so funny, but when he said, if you kill someone, like, you might lose your job or something, I was literally thinking about that for like 20 seconds. Even while he was talking. That was so funny. And you don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van, by the way. Oh my god, those two quotes. So good. So freaking good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did. I found it very interesting. I found it very interesting. I do want to see a little bit more Norm. I do want to see more of Norm. I saw he has a bunch. I think he was on SNL. He was on Late Night with whoever the fuck it is. I don't even know anymore. Well, this is a long time ago because he is passed away now, but some of his stand-up. So let me know what other skits or moments you guys would like me to see of his. Like and subscribe as always if you did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye, peace. This is like, I'm still trying to process what I just watched. All right, bye bye, peace.
Can you tell, because we've had great Norm stories on here and you were actually tight with him, can you tell any Norm stories?
The king. I mean, I do a couple in my set.
They're great. I was,
so I don't want to give any of those away.
Don't give those away yet, but
I'll share with you one that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
All right. We're on tours, me, Sandler, and Spade, and Norm, and it's our final show. I believe it was Mohegan Sun, and so it's our final show. So like we're deprived of sleep. So everybody's just like, let's sleep in, okay? So we're all in a text thread. So we all sleep in and we're, wake up. And so Norm was on the thread at 6 a.m. on the thread with everybody. And he goes, hey, I'm getting breakfast. Anybody want to have breakfast? And radio silence. Everyone's sleeping. I wake up at about 9 a.m. and I go, hey, does anybody want to get breakfast? And people are like, yeah, I'm down, blah, 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 blah. So we go down to the lobby, and Norm's walking up, and he goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, we're going to go get breakfast. He goes, yeah, that was my idea. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, no, as I had said, you guys want to get breakfast, and nobody said anything. And I go, yeah, we're all sleeping. Adam's like, yeah, we're sleeping. And he goes, yeah, then Swartzen, he fucking goes, hey, you want to get breakfast? Now everybody wants to get breakfast. So he took my idea. I go, I didn't fucking create breakfast. And he goes, yeah, I know, but I thought of it first. My idea. He goes, they don't even have breakfast here. And we're at a casino, and we're like, they don't have breakfast. They always have breakfast. And then he goes, no, I've been walking around trying to find it. And then we go to the concierge, and we're like, do you guys have breakfast? She's like, yeah, there's like 3 diners. Like, and there's one like, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, what? What are you talking about? You're walking around. You have breakfast. It was like the most insane.
Yeah.
And that was the thing about Norm is like, you just never, I was always like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's just like.
Did he know he was being funny?
I don't know.
That's what's the genius of it.
Well, that was the genius of it, but it was like, I was one of his good friends. So it was just like, I didn't steal your idea for breakfast. It's like so insane. Yeah, Swartzen stole it.
Yeah.
I thought of it. It's like, and it was so funny. Like, I still have screenshots of like the threads of all of us.
Yeah.
Because it was like, Norm would just, it was so bizarre. I remember one time we were going down to Florida. We had a whole run of shows in Florida, like 4 sold out amphitheater, amazing shows. So we're on the
St. Augustine, right?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful.
It's the best show I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
It's the best show I've ever seen in my life. But so we're on a thread. So Norm is going to meet us from California and Florida. So 2 days before, we're like, all right, Florida, Orlando, blah, 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 excited, fired up. Yeah, see you guys there. So we get into Orlando. We're all at the hotel. We're like, okay, Norm, you here yet? He goes, what? Where? And we're like, we're in Florida, we're in Orlando. Like, are you here? And he goes, Orlando? What are you talking about? What do you mean? We're like, we have a show tonight.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? Yeah. Who said that? I didn't know that. And I literally screenshotted it 2 days before Norm going, can't wait to see you in Florida. And I go, you fucking said. And he goes, oh, yeah, no. Yeah, shit, I have the flu. And we're like, what do you mean you have the flu? He goes, yeah, I have the flu. And we're like, why don't you say you have the flu? And he goes, yeah, I forgot. And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So he missed the whole Florida run.
Wow.
He just didn't tell anybody his name's built on this thing too?
Well, sometimes he was, sometimes he wasn't. Like,
okay.
We were the main 4, me and Spade and Steiner and Adam. So Norm, they would be like a rotating, like Nealon, Tim Meadows, Norm, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like you just said.
That's hilarious.
So it was
What
so
a nut.
Were you ever nervous being the new guy? Because all those guys have known each other forever.
No, I came in hot. I just started slapping genitals. Yeah. Well, I had worked with Adam for so long, and those guys all became really close. So when we went on tour, it was just, it was. I never felt like the new guy. It was just like my buddies.
I've heard you got a jump shot too.
Ooh.
I did before I went blind. I literally that was in Key West too. I have glasses now because I can't fucking see shit.
I've had multiple people tell me. I remember Godfrey once was like, Swartzen's got a J, dude.
Dude, I used to, I was a shooting guard. Yeah, I couldn't run point, but I was like very like Reddick. That was my idol, who's became a friend, JJ Reddick.
Can I ask one more Norm question? He's my favorite.
Okay.
Did he do well on the shows? Because I've only seen him live twice, and one night he fucking annihilated. It was like the roof came off, and then one night he bombed silence for like 45 minutes.
It's kind of like whatever he wanted. Like he could murder, or if he just wasn't in the mood, he would just go off on like some kind of whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But he did say one of my favorite things ever. I did a festival in San Diego, and I headlined Friday, Norm headlined Saturday, and I stayed and hung out with Norm, and we're backstage, and right next to him, he's about to go on, Kirk Fox's opener, it was really funny, is about to introduce, he's in the process of introducing him. He goes, you know, you're a headliner, blah, 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 and Norm just turns to me and he just goes, the only thing I'm good at, I hate. And they're like, Norm MacDonald, and he went on stage.
Jesus, that's dark.
No, it was perfect, because it's like sometimes comedians are just like, sometimes, I don't know, you're just like, feel fucking dark.
Sometimes you don't feel like it, but yeah, but I mean, do you think he didn't like doing stand-up?
No, he loved it. You know, it's just kind of just a self-loathing, like,
yeah.
Maybe he just wasn't in the mood. It was a music festival.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I'm sure he was just like, this could go either way.
Yeah. I used to open for Louis, and he would always pace in the green room and be like, I don't feel funny today. I don't feel funny. I don't have it. I've gone. I'm not funny anymore. And then he would go up and murder.
Yeah.
I think before a show, you just get that
You
weird...
get in your head.
I'm like a legit insane person before I go on stage. I don't know if you're like this. I get really tired. Like, I get a weird fatigue where I'm just like, ugh. And then people are like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just have to get out there. And then once I'm out there, I fucking love it. It's the best. And but I remember Dana Carvey was saying that to me. We were doing a gig at Laugh Factory in Hollywood, and it was Kevin Nealon's new material night. And I'm backstage with Dana, and Dana's like, I'm gonna bomb. I'm gonna tank. And I'm like, you're not. And he's like, no. I don't have anything. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's a new material night. He's like, no. I'm gonna bomb. I'm gonna bomb. And I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. And he just went out and fucking murdered Dana Carvey. It's like,
exactly.
Literally, he's the most charismatic, naturally hilarious human being that's ever created.
Yeah.
Much like a Richard Gere.
Yeah.
But no, he's amazing. It's funny when people say stuff like that.
Now, was Norm I mean, I know he's a brilliant comedian, blah, blah, but was he ever...
one question.
Was he ever brutal to hang out with?
What do you mean?
Like, was it ever hard? What?
Abusive?
No,
it just means it was just like a hard
was it annoying sometimes?
Shut up, Sam.
You know, like...
I'm trying to fucking defend Mark.
Well, like...
Stupid question.
He's got that...
Oh, he's trying to like... No,
I appreciate it.
Be easy on my man.
No,
man.
you can...
Hey, you're in our cave, man. What are you doing here, Nick? What are you doing here?
You know, like he couldn't drive, so you had to go pick him up, or he has that great story where his assistant was like, Norm, you're not gonna believe this. I got a hooker last night, and she snorted coke off my dick. Don't tell anybody, please. And Norm's like, yeah, of course, I got you. And then the UPS guy walked in. He goes, this guy got his dick coke snort by a hooker. And the guy was like, what are you doing? You know, but that's Norm.
Yeah, I mean, it was always just interesting. I mean, there's a story I've told before. I'll just tell it quickly. But,
please.
But it's the one of where I called him to watch a baseball game. So do you know this story or no? So I call him. It's noon. There's a triple header on.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the bar, have a couple beers, and then Norm's like, hey, what are you doing? And I go, I'm at the bar. I go, I just got here. I've had a couple beers. Want to meet me and watch games? And he goes, yeah. Can you pick me up? And I go, no, I've already had drinks. I don't want to drink and drive. I go, you live a mile away. Just call a cab. It's before Uber. And he goes, all right, yeah, I'll see you there. So I'm like, okay. So I'm drinking at the bar. Watch one whole game. No Norm. Another whole game. No Norm. Text him. Nothing.
Yeah.
No reply.
This is what, 6 hours now?
6 hours. So now I'm like, solid buzz. Thank you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So then third game. No Norm.
Huh.
So it's 9 o'clock at night. Now I'm like fucking drunk as shit. And I'm leaving the bar and he's walking in. And he goes, where are you going? And I go, what do you mean? Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah.
I watched all 3 games. I'm like in a blackout. I can't walk. And he goes, so you're leaving? And I go, yeah, I can't see.
This is what I'm talking about.
And he goes, now, and this is the best part. This is so Norm. I go, where the fuck have you been? And he goes, I had to do laundry.
For 9 hours.
For 9 hours. I go, 9 hours? Do you run an orphanage? What the fuck are you doing, man? You wear the same thing. You wear sweatpants.
Right.
He goes, yeah. So I stayed and had like one more beer. But it was just like...
That would drive me crazy.
Of course. That's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, that's why like you just never... You would never like fully invest.
Right.
But he was great though. He was really competitive. One time, he goes, hey, you ever play ping pong? And I go, yeah, I grew up playing ping pong at a ping pong table. And he goes, no way, I play ping pong. I'm really good. And I go, I bet you I beat you. And he goes, no, I bet you won't. And I go, okay. He goes, I got a new ping pong table. So I go over to his place, and we're playing ping pong, and I annihilate him, like in front of Lori and his son, and it's just, and he's fucking livid, and I'm just smoking, and he's like, what the fuck? What are you, fucking half Asian? What's going on here? What are you doing? And I'm like, I grew up playing ping pong. I'm like really, really, really good. And he's like, yeah, I play again. And so I just kept beating him. And then I felt bad. It was kind of like I would let up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he could tell, and he would make it more mad. He's like, nah, fuck you. And he was so mad.
Oh, that's
so like there was a funny competitive side to him.
God, could you imagine him trying to have a girlfriend or anything like that? Showing up 9 hours late to stuff? It's insane.
No.
Or not be able to drive?
Comedian Norm MacDonald has become a huge hot topic over his comments about Roseanne and Louis C.K. and the Me Too movement. And it led to The Tonight Show, saying that we're going to cancel the appearance, but we wanted him to come and clear the air. So please welcome Norm MacDonald. You took a lot of flack for saying in the art of for some things that you said in the Hollywood Reporter, saying that you were kind of glad that the Me Too movement has slowed down, and we don't really know you as a guy who really comments on very much that's going on. So what were you trying to say? Yeah.
Well, I was, print reporters, they ask you questions and they put them all together. What I was talking about was Chris Hardwick, this particular comedian. Right. That was a friend of mine. And, if 500 women go against a man, obviously the guy's guilty. But in the Chris Hardwick one, it was one woman against one man. Mm-hmm. Right. So I was saying that I thought it was good that the pendulum was slowing, and Chris Hardwick has been as rehabilitated as he's going to get. He still tells me he can't walk down the street without people yelling stuff at him. Yeah. But that's all I was trying to say.
Okay. Well, you do raise valid questions about due process and verification of what went on. I think that we would agree with that. That you have to back it up somewhat. But when you kind of lose me when you imply that the hardship that your friend Louis C.K. is a friend of mine too. Really, I know him a long time. That the hardship that he went through is equal to the hardship that the victims went through. Right. That doesn't compute.
No, it's not true.
Can you explain yourself a little there?
Yeah, no, that's not what I was saying. When this happened, I was working for Roseanne when Roseanne's thing went down, and I called her the next day, and she was crying the whole time I was talking to her. Right. I've known Roseanne for a while, and I was worried about her because she seemed really, really in a bad place. And I said, I can't really talk to you about this because I've never been through anything like this. And I said, I know Louis, and he's been through this, where he's had everything taken from him. Right. And I said, not many of us have gone through this, and so you should talk to each other because and then the guy said, what about the victims? And I said, well, the victims haven't gone through this. I was talking about this particular event. Of course, the victims have gone through worse than that. But I'm going to get a victim to phone Roseanne?
No, but that's a good clarification.
And that's why it's so important to be able to clarify and to be able to explain, because at the heart of it, I think we are forgiving people. We jump very quickly today, but I do think that we like to forgive. You went on the Howard Stern show yesterday to apologize, and you ended up making it worse because you said you'd have to have Down syndrome not to feel sorry for the victims. Yes. Do you regret saying that? You just keep on getting into trouble, Norm MacDonald.
It's always bad when you have to apologize
for the apology.
An apology.
Do you lose it when you're on Howard? Is that what happens, Joe?
Well, there is a thing on Howard where there's a recklessness in the studio, and there used to be a word we would all say to mean stupid that we don't say anymore, right? Yeah. You know the word I'm talking about? Yes. Yeah. And stupidly, I was about to say that word, and I stopped and said, what's the right word to say? And then I said, a different word that was equally.
Yeah. Did you realize in that
offensive.
moment that probably
I
offended a lot of
realized
people?
at that moment that I'd done something unforgivable.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you know, it's like things spill out sometimes, and it's just difficult. You also you're friends with Roseanne. She gave you your first job, I
Yes,
understand.
my first job.
And so you put her together with Louis,
With
C.K.
Yeah, because I was really concerned about Roseanne, and you know, I don't want someone to end up killing themselves or anything.
Of course not.
Yeah, so.
Don't you think Louis, do you say that you think they deserve a comeback? Now, I was saying yesterday that Louis performed at Comedy Cellar, and what he didn't talk about these allegations in his set, which I would have thought that he would have done. Don't you? I mean, so if he wants to have a comeback, he needs to, like, address it directly, I think, as a comedian. So where's Roseanne's coming back?
Geez, I don't know if Roseanne could ever come back.
Are you worried to speak now because because of the backlash that you've received this week? Now are you thinking twice before everything comes out of your mouth?
He always
thinks that
This is how he's a slow talker.
He's a talks like that.
But I
He's
think
a
just
slow-
in general,
slow talker
I
from
think in
America.
general we all have to think very carefully about the words that come out of our mouth because you risk offending somebody or a number of people.
Well, Joy's often said that PC, political correctness is killing comedy.
It is killing comedy.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Even
I
in
agree
the clubs
with that.
where it's a
because-
small group.
Yeah.
Well,
You
as
know,
long as there's a
often people will come and say, you know, some guy said a joke and you're asked to defend it, and the joke is always horrible. Like, it's the worst joke you've ever heard. And you're in this position where you have to defend a terrible joke on free speech, you know. But I always, like, reporters always ask you, like, what's offensive? Is anything over the line? And I personally think almost everything is over the line.
They like you to be edgy, and then when you are, you get hurt for it. But you know, comedians.
But
are
I will
trying-
say, the remark I made about people with Down syndrome was just a
Insensitive.
terrible,
Yeah.
terrible,
And
terrible
stupid.
thing for me to
We
say.
agree.
Well, all of this is happening.
Yeah.
You know, and we also, you know, we've all stepped in it as comics.
Yeah.
We all have stepped in it as comics.
And as lawyers and as journalists.
Maybe, but not quite the same way.
Not quite the same. But let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Whoop. You know, your appearance on Jimmy Fallon was canceled. And he said that his staffers were actually crying about the comments that you made. Were you surprised at that reaction?
Weren't
And have
they
you been
crying that
surprised?
you were there? They were crying that he was there.
That you were even there. Have you been surprised by this reaction?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, I have been surprised because, you know, I never did anything. I mean, I spoke, but I mean, I don't want to be tossed in with people that actually did, not crimes, but sins, or, you know, I barely have consensual sex.
Oh, they all have consent. It's all consensual. When Mr. Happy comes out, it's all consensual.
Which brings us to this. You have a new show called The Norm MacDonald Show.
I feel a little weird.
Why?
Well, part of the reason this is all happening, Norm, is because you've now got this show and you're talking to lots of folks, and now in a different way than just being a stand-up or a funny person, people are asking you questions that, you know, you think your answer sounds fine in your head, you know, but then you say it and it's like, oh, that went over not well.
Yeah.
So the reason I say that this is in part why you got here is because this is very different for you. The conversations that you're having with folks, they're asking you questions that would not that we would talk about, you and I would talk about, but, you know, they're not for public consumption.
Right.
And I know what you mean, but, you know, when you're talking to a whole bunch of folks, they may not know what you mean because they don't know you. So tell me, what's going to be different about your talk show? Because I'm told you're not doing any politics, which is probably great. You know, you're not talking about heavy stuff. What are you talking about? Stuff with guests that have to do with their lives and you know.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, well, we wanted the show to be not time-stamped because it's on Netflix.
Right.
And Ted wanted nothing topical.
Right.
So that's good because I don't really know anything topical. And so we just talk about, you know,
People's
eternal
lives.
questions of.
Right.
But it's edgy anyway. I saw a clip. You asked Drew Barrymore if she misses cocaine. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
So you know, it's an edgy show anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. But
well,
yeah.
it's
Congrats
coming
and
on.
good luck.
Thanks. You know, listen. Thanks for coming to us to talk to us about this.
Well, I hope
you know.
I hope that I didn't offend any of you guys.
Not at all.
No. But all 10 episodes of your show, the Norm MacDonald Show, has a show premiere on Netflix tomorrow. So lots of interesting guests from, you know, Drew Barrymore, as you said, to Jane Fonda, to David Letterman.
Yeah.
Really quite different and quite new. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
It's fun doing jokes.
Yeah.
Why do dogs always race to the door when the doorbell rings? It's almost never for them. You know the funniest part of doing an office conga line? When you look back and realize you're doing it alone and you're not in an office, you're in a psychiatric hospital. I've never been on top of trends, I guess. You know, when everybody was burning CDs, I was still burning books. Crowds in Brazil greeted arriving Olympians with signs reading, "Welcome to Hell." I had a wild night last night, boy. I was in an orgy. It was me, my iPad, my laptop, and TV while my phone watched. It's more of a comment, really. I'd like to take this moment to say I endorse podiums. That's a product I can stand behind. What about this one? This is for you.
Yesterday I had a picture framed. Now it's doing time upstate for armed robbery.
Well, listen to this. Catherine Zeta-Jones admitted she is bipolar half the time. She's deliriously happy, and the other time she has to suck an old man's cock. That's dirty. Come on, man.
A new study shows that most men can identify a gay man by his face alone. It's the face that's buried in another man's asshole.
Hey, how about this? The Dalai Lama said that killing in the name of religion is unthinkable. Hey, thanks, Dalai Lama. I'm sure everybody will fucking listen to you. No one listens to the Dalai Lama.
No one.
I need to have glasses in order to see my family. Specifically, 2 glasses of scotch.
The Al-Qaeda online magazine Inspire has a recipe for a homemade bomb. They also have a recipe for a pretty darn good peach cobbler.
So they're not all bad, you know? A new study found that men with beards are more attractive than men without beards. More great work from the University of Bob Seger.
I think there's nothing cooler than being a lone wolf, except at wolf picnics when you don't have a partner for the wolf wheelbarrow races.
Now listen, my girlfriend's mad at me right now. Last night when we were having sex, I yelled the name of her ex-boyfriend. Nice fellow. A surname you don't hear much anymore, Flintstone. This one's more like a factoid.
Danny DeVito looks like one of those guys with a short but thick penis.
Okay, here, what about this joke? Call me an old softy. But I'd prefer if you called me a distinguished gentleman with a flagging erection. John Wayne Gacy, man. Not my idea of a clown.
Not funny at all.
No.
That guy wasn't funny.
Barbara Walters announced that she's retiring from The View. Well, actually, she announced it 5 years ago, but no one could hear her over those yammering bitches.
Hey, how about this one? They say pimping ain't easy, Andy. But what they won't tell you, it is much, much more difficult being a prostitute. Pimping is pretty easy. Barbara Walters is planning to announce her retirement. What's next for Babs? Death.
Well, Miss Weil, when I was told I was going to perform for a bunch of drones, I thought I was being booked on The View.
You ever read a book? Oh, you read that communist thing?
Yeah, I read the Marxist manifesto.
Who was the better man?
Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King? Stalin. Hey, by the way, I've noticed the term adult toy always refers to something you can shove up your asshole and never like a big race car, like for a grown-up.
Another good observation.
Growing up, I never would have believed that one day I'd need a computer just to masturbate.
It is strange when you think about it. In my opinion, if you're going to fight the war on terror, a good place to start would be this nation's haunted houses. You know, I may have told you this, but my doctor's getting very rude. The last time I went to him, he said, open your mouth and say oink. I remember, sometimes they get so PC about these things. That movie, The Last of the Mohicans, and they had a big protest. Apparently they weren't using any actual Mohicans. Anyways, white girls who wear big hoop earrings may be guilty of, quote, cultural appropriation. And they risk getting a curse put on them by peeved gypsy fortune tellers. Wait a minute. These are great jokes, by the way, Steve. Congrats.
Oh, good.
As always. Here's one for you. Here.
Artifacts from Auschwitz are set to go on tour for the first time.
You guys won't stop.
Experts believe that this will be Miley Cyrus's darkest opening act yet.
Wow. I know the Bible says not to covet thy neighbor's wife. Right. But it doesn't say a damn thing about coveting thy neighbor's husband, especially his sweet, hot fucking asshole.
This is sweet hot. Is that in there?
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free.
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores.
My father was recently diagnosed with shingles, which is a terrible sickness that usually only affects roofs. I think the reason I most look forward to China ruling the earth is that all of their last names sound like slang for cock. I'll tell you a joke. You know, they had a big black mass devil worship this week, apparently. But I skipped it because I believe you can be just as close to Satan on a golf course as in some stuffy old satanic church.
Deep throat porn legend Harry Reeves.
Yeah,
he died, but how are they
know
going to
who
close
that
that
is?
casket? I mean, because no, Swiss think I hate that. It's great. Thanks.
This one says, remember the old days when tweeting meant stabbing a hooker? Well, this Lindsay Lohan can't swim a stroke, but she sure knows every dive in town.
That one I like.
I don't know much about geopolitics, but that is one cool name for a country, Chad.
I know. Yeah.
Hey, how about this one?
Yeah, okay. A 28-year-old med student is auctioning off her virginity online. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life. That's good.
That ain't
That's
bad.
good.
That ain't
Who
bad.
writes these?
Oh, well. This is what you never hear. He made love to me in the ass. Oh, a woman from Denmark I met at a party was telling me how awful she thinks Trump is. So I shot back, yeah, well, you guys have that asshole Hans Christian Andersen.
That's funny.
It's just my patriotism.
When I was a child, my parents told me my uncle was sleeping with the fishes, which at the time I assumed meant he bought a waterbed. Then I found out he had been killed and his body buried at sea.
Dave, say what you will about Elon Musk, but with his new plan to bring people to Mars, nobody is a more creative serial killer. A new report from the CDC states that only 1/3 of Americans use condoms, while 2/3 of Americans are still pretty cool.
Get out! Why do you get a good one? That was good.
My dad would hit me with the belt sometimes.
Yeah, you would have to
But
go
it was
get...
the worst when he was the reigning WWE.
Okay.
You know, I was raised Catholic, and when people find out, they always assume there was some creepy priest involved, you know. But they never suspect the deacon.
Fucking asshole.
Adam Egan with a joke. You've been thinking about your mortality a lot lately, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you turn 70 and it's you can't run from it.
Ah, fuck, I was hoping you could. Sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that?
Come on, Norm, and thank you for everything. Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
That was very sweet, Norm.
Good night, everybody.
You're Norm MacDonald, and you are shattering my energy. Like, you could have whatever you want. Clearly, you want nothing, and you just want to be depressed. You're depressed.
No, I'm not
you
depressed
need to
at
see
all.
someone.
I'm in no ways depressed. Having nothing and having something are exactly the same thing.
And in spite of that, please welcome Norm MacDonald.
What's up, man?
Okay, Norm, you're Canadian.
Yes, I am.
So what do you think of this whole presidential mess?
I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I told you murderers. Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to. You're not allowed to put out.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen, we don't need
I
to
don't
talk
want to get
about
into this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on with it.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up. Shut up. Look, let me do this, okay?
Norm is the reason that I ever wanted to do Weekend Update, and so tonight we thought we'd turn the last few jokes of Update over to Norm.
Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California.
Norm is a stand-up comedian, perhaps best known nationally for his 4-year stint as Weekend Update anchor, which ended when he was fired for refusing to adapt his comedic style and ease up the jokes on certain topics. But doing things his way is really the story of his life. I only know of Norm from the last few years, after seeing several YouTube clips and then reading articles and becoming more and more mesmerized the more I dig into the guy. And I'm not telling any tales out of school when I say Norm is the most refreshing Hollywood persona I've yet to come across.
Because it's funny with Saturday Night Live, isn't it? The people that either they go on to huge fame or they fizzle into oblivion generally.
Yeah. And it's...
then there's me.
And then there's you.
No, but...
It won't go away.
You know where I differ from a lot of people? When I...
Really?
Insanely different from everyone else. Andy, you said something once. You said to me, that guy doesn't care in a way that frightens me.
You just throw stuff out there, then you get everyone worked up, and then you go, nah, and then you give...
I'm a provocateur.
The originals stand out the most, and they stay with us long after they're gone, and there was no one more original than Norm MacDonald.
He had this seeming indifference about whether the crowd liked it or not. He was going to do what he was going to do.
He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case...
I have always said to people, if you want to really see me laugh, and this is long before Norm passed, if you really want to see what it looks like when I am laughing, watch a Norm MacDonald segment.
What are you doing now?
I just saw on the TV my hair.
Okay.
All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little commercial break.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to get security in here. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you some more because you're going to have some fluids during the break and stuff.
Fluids?
Yeah, you'll see. We'll get that Tanya girl to get them for you.
I thought when you said that, I thought you meant fluids out of my ass. Play the dumb guy, you know? Play the everyman. Nobody likes a guy smarter than them. That's the worst guy you can be. A guy smarter than the audience. They're gonna hate you. And so I meet celebrities, and I know as soon as I shake their hand, I know, hey, there's a dumb guy. You know, because I'm a dumb guy myself, and I got that, you know how gay guys have the gaydar? I'm like that with dumb people. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I could have a conversation with you, man.
This act, coming from a guy who graduated high school at 14, enrolled in college to study math, and by all accounts was extremely well-versed in Russian literature.
He would pretend like, oh, I'm reading Dostoevsky, what is it? Dostoevsky, you know, like, pretend he didn't know who it is, you know?
He also broke character once and won the $1 million prize on Celebrity Millionaire, but Regis basically talked him out of the final question.
Tell me what you want to do.
I think Pinehurst is too obvious, so I guess I will say what's the matter? Greenbrier. What are you making that face for?
Did you say Greenbrier?
Yeah.
You would have won $1 million, but 500,000. Come on, be happy.
Norm is first and foremost smart, next funny, and thirdly, most importantly, perhaps endlessly appealing. Why doesn't a guy like that get to have an hour every night?
My sister texted me the day after he died. I was at the show and I was in your office. You weren't there. And Norm MacDonald walked in and I introduced myself and he sat down and talked to me for an hour and asked me questions about myself and made me laugh a lot. And she said, nobody in your business has done that before or since.
Right.
Like he was like deeply, deeply polite, deeply, deeply concerned with the person that he's talking to. An audience, not so much.
Now, I was there for one of the greatest Norm moments in comedy history, was Norm MacDonald was kicked out of the state by the governor. Many were disgusted, some were delighted.
I heard you had to write a new act for the Midwest.
Oh yeah, no, I did this gig in Iowa, and it was too dirty.
People are grabbing their kids, running up the aisle. I never saw a place clear out. It was like a fire alarm was going off. But the college students were staying, and they were howling with laughter.
I'm told that 80% of the audience walked out.
What could you possibly have said to them?
What it was there was moms and dads and little kids in the audience, right?
That's what they didn't tell me. I would never do anything dirty in front of children.
No.
And there's thousands of people there, and it's billed as family night. Family night. And they give us a big speech, and they're like,
No cursing and no sexual agenda jokes.
okay. Then Daryl Hammond goes up and does impressions. He's completely going great. I go up, do my 20, feel great. Norm goes up, and the place goes nuts. Little kids. And I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, well, what did you say to them?
Well, I was just talking, like, I don't have my stand-up act, I just talk about whatever I'm thinking about. At the time, it was about having sex with animals. But it wasn't, like, weird. It was like, I'm not in favor. I'm not in favor.
Yeah. This is what he starts off with. So, I go, Daryl, you gotta come see this. And he's going, and he won't stop.
People start like looking around, like, oh, what's going on? Old people, little kids lining up.
Okay, so everyone got up and left. Now, did they pull the plug on you? I mean, or was some people left sitting in the chairs?
No, there was I think there was 2,000 people, and then 1,800 of them left. And then another 200 liked me.
Right.
So they were really happy at the end.
They thought it was cool.
I didn't even know anything was wrong. So then this guy goes, "Do you think your act is obscene?" So then I said, "No, I think what's obscene is there's kids dying in Vietnam, And then he goes, "There's no war in Vietnam." You're all mad at it.
Maybe the funniest thing about this story is that there's a 1997 Rolling Stone article where the writer, he's doing an SNL article or something. So he's in Norm's office, and he notes that on Norm's bulletin board, there's only 3 things, one of which is a letter from the assistant athletic director at Iowa. And it's basically a disinvitation from a charity golf event, which Norm was supposed to play in the next day. But his stand-up was so offensive that they uninvited him. And then Norm put this on his bulletin board like a trophy.
Because he literally, he just didn't care. He really didn't care. People say that, and they're lying.
No, he really genuinely
didn't care. I mean, watch his roast, watch his talk show appearances. He doesn't give a
At my roast, he says, "Saget, I can't roast you. You're my friend." And I go, "Norm, just do it and curse a little bit." I don't want to curse. I'm going to read jokes from a 40s joke book. There was silence in the room.
No, I think that Bob should join the Ku Klux Klan. And that's not because he's racist. He's not racist. It's just that he'd look a lot better with a hood over his head on account of his face.
And then he got emotional because we're friends. And he started saying, "I love you. I don't like to make fun of my friends, and I just think the world of you." And
Bob, honestly, has never had an unkind word for anybody, and I love him, and I hope everybody else does, so I just want to say that. With all your wealth and your success, and this is serious from the heart, you got to remember, this is a saying I made up. There are a lot of ships that are very valuable, right? You probably think a golden ship was valuable.
Yes, okay. There are a lot of ships out there.
You would think a solid gold ship would be very valuable, or a solid platinum ship.
Yes.
A ship made only of diamonds. I don't know if it would float. I don't know. But you would think that would be the most valuable ship. But you know what, sir? It is not. You know what your most valuable ship is?
What is that?
Friendship. The biggest laughs you'll ever hear in life are, I got a Thanksgiving dinner with a bunch of loved ones, and nothing funny is said, and it just comes from love. I find that to be a taboo subject, and yet it's central to everything there is. My mother's so happy. She lives beside me, 86 years old. She's so happy. I would trade, and I've never seen anything shine from her eyes, just love. I don't think she's ever let an ironic phrase, pass her time. She's just a great person, and she's so happy. She'll come back. She'll go to the grocery store, come back, go, "Norm, that was an amazing story." I said, "What happened?" She goes, "A woman was buying a pineapple. It was $1.49 last week. It was $1.19. I'm like, "That's not a story, you old bag. What the fuck?" That's too dirty. Let's do a nice joke to clean it up.
Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff. You should let me read this ahead. Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff his cock in them. Oh, wait, that's just assholes.
I guess my overall feeling is life is sort of absurd. It's absurd where I am. Don't you ever wake up, Larry, and feel it's absurd where you are in life?
The whole thing is weird.
The whole thing, yeah.
I think that has a great deal to do with his success, that he actually didn't really care on some level. Like, obviously, he wanted to be successful and wanted to be and do well, but at some point, I think he sort of knew what was important and what wasn't.
Life is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like life, man.
You do, really?
I'm like, man, it's the greatest gig in the world, being alive. You get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want.
Yeah. Get haircuts. It is.
Are you a happy person, like in general?
No, I mean, I think things are funny,
Right.
so I laugh a lot.
But that doesn't necessarily translate into like happiness on a.
Well, if I'm laughing, I'm happy, I guess.
Do you have a nice house?
No, I live in a very small apartment.
You have an apartment?
Yes.
Oh, I'm surprised that you don't have like a big, you're Norm MacDonald.
Well, I don't like things.
Oh.
No, I've always felt very burdened down by them. I bought a house for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And it was like I was walling myself into a fucking mausoleum or something. All of a sudden, I'm like,
when you
what
had
the
money.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I don't want a bunch of stuff.
When you're really poor, you don't expect anything of yourself, and you're happy with any measure of success. And it's only as you get more successful that you start to envy and. You know what I mean? And especially in this town.
What turns you off? In general?
What turns me off?
Yeah.
Smugness. Like, I always ask people, I go, what do you know for sure? Because, of course, the answer is nothing. Like, I remember when I realized I didn't like sunsets at one point in my life. And I was like, what the fuck am I looking at this shit? I don't even like it. And I realized that I just thought I liked it because I was told they were supposed to be beautiful or something. But you just have certain moments in your life where you come to for a second with some lucidity. I stumped a fucking psychiatrist once. I said to the guy, because I was fucking gambling all the time, shit, right? I had a gambling addiction. He said, you're using gambling in order to escape your real thoughts. You know? Mm-hmm. And I said to him, isn't that why you do everything in life? And literally, I stumped him.
He had no answer.
He was like, ah. And then he recovered and tried to make it. But isn't that why you do everything?
Yes.
So you're not sitting at home thinking about what's really going to happen to us?
where it all ends? What was your gambling poison there? What did you enjoy? Sports gambling.
Yes. But like when I watch a game and I have a bunch of money on it, then I can understand what's going on. Nothing's ambivalent or anything about it, you know.
And there's stakes.
There's stakes. Like, I went broke, like, a few times when I actually had lots of money.
Gambling.
3 times.
Gambling.
With gambling, yeah. And I mean broke, dead broke.
Have you ever texted with Norm?
No, I haven't, no.
He just goes, he waits days, and then at 3 a.m, David, hello, it's me, Norm. I go, Norm, what are you doing? Are you answering me from 4 days ago? Is that what you're doing? Dave, it's Norm. Do you like money? Yes, Norm, I like money. Why? Would you like to have more money than all your wildest dreams? Yes, I would. And then an hour later, would you like to walk into a dealership and point to a car and then just buy it? I go, of course. How? And then 3 hours later, bet the over in the Blackhawks game in the first quarter.
I did a stupid thing one time.
Okay, he's ready to talk.
At Atlantic City, on the boardwalk, I threw $60,000 into the ocean.
What? No way.
Yeah, to quit. That was my thing. I'm going to quit.
Why did you just quit and keep the 60?
It was supposed to be like I felt like I was in a movie.
Wow. How do you do that?
Well, you kind of at the end of it, it's happening.
Yeah.
Because it does it's exhausting.
Yeah.
To be obsessed with something.
Right.
So you are, I guess, trying to do it, trying to finish it off.
Right.
Finally. Because if you have $450,000 in the bank, and then you lose $400,000, you go, fuck it. I don't want to fucking have $50,000.
And you did that 3 times.
3 times in my life, yeah. When I was very young, I was very, very, very shy and very afraid of everything.
Aren't you still afraid of everything? I am.
No, I'm not afraid of everything. I'm afraid of very few things.
Like what?
Illness, death.
And he won't be fully
be appreciated until he's dead. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Norm MacDonald.
Who knows, you know? I mean, who knows how you're gonna die? I mean, we all know now. But think back a week ago. Think back a week ago.
It really sticks out, but again, people don't identify it as great at the beginning, I guess, like your parents.
Yeah,
but the other comics did.
Yeah, other comics just knew it was different and that I didn't waste any time. You know, when you tell a story, you can have 5 minutes without a laugh and people are still interested in the story. But when you're telling little one-liners, you're kidding me.
Somebody in the control, what did he pass from?
It was cancer.
Has he been sick?
Cancer?
9 years.
He's had 9 years of cancer?
He kept it a secret from his family. And friends.
When people confess things, and they're told how brave they are, you know, because they have cancer or something, and they talk about it. Well, everyone has cancer. I mean, it's not rare at all. And if I had a specific ailment, and possibly I do, you don't know.
I don't know.
But I would not talk about it. I would not. I hope that I would not discuss it, and just try to benefit monetarily from that.
When Norm passed, it was widely reported that he had been diagnosed with cancer 9 years prior, in 2012. And when making this video, I came across a little more info. A few people who knew him at a much younger age say he battled cancer his entire life. The only thing I could find strong evidence of is his stomach cancer he had in 1986 that actually kept him from doing comedy for over a year. This is a recount from Laura Ray, a comedian who was friends with Norm back in 1986.
And then, lo and behold, then he came in, I remember, late one day, and he goes, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I was throwing up blood, right? And we're like, Norm, that's not good. Go to the hospital. And so Norm went to the hospital, and it turned out he had stomach cancer. And they took out, I think, almost half to 3/4 of his stomach. And so during that time, it was very difficult. And we thought that Norm was going to die. And I think he did come close to dying. And part of the checking of the abdomen and the rubbing of the belly was from that initial bout of cancer. I think partially it's comfort and partially it's just, you know, there's still a bit of residual kind of pain and tightening.
But Norm never lost to cancer. He beat it at least once. And the last instance ended in a draw.
Because in the old days, they go, hey, that old man died. Now they go, hey, he lost his battle. That's no way to end your life, you know. What a loser that guy was. Last thing he did was lose. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure if the cancer dies, I mean, if you die, the cancer also dies at exactly the same time. So that, to me, is not a loss, that's a draw. That's a, you know what I mean?
Norm beating cancer once at a young age seemingly sheds a lot of light on his unique fearlessness, courage, self-destructive tendencies, and of course his career-long infatuation discussing illness and death. This world's gonna burn.
Yeah, well, I have a fear of not existing.
Yes, but you know, the writer Nabokov said that he saw a picture one time, and it was a picture before he was born. It was a picture of his mother with his brother and sister that were older than him, but he had not been born yet. He said when he saw that picture, there was no terror in it, even though he was looking at a picture where he didn't exist.
But he didn't know anything, so.
Right, he didn't, but looking at that picture didn't terrify him that he didn't exist.
When I was a boy, I was sure I'd never make it past Moose Creek, Ontario, Canada, but I've been all over this world, except for Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, and South America. The only thing an old man can tell a young man is that it goes fast, real fast. And if you're not careful, it's too late. Of course, the young man will never understand this truth. And as for my gambling, it is true, I lost it all a few times, but that's because I always took the long shot and I never came in. And if you're at the table and you're rolling them bones There's no money in playing it safe. You have to take all your chips and put them on double six and watch as every eye goes to you and then to those red dice doing their wild dance, freezing time before finding the cruel green felt. I've been lucky.
Like my friend Billy Joe Shaver, an old country singer, he says, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday.
When I have my funeral, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, most of these funerals, crying and sad and everything like that. And that's what I'd like, you know? I don't want, I've heard of other ones, let's have a party. Whoa, whoa.
No party.
There'll be a lot of party days later. But right now, I'm dead. I mean, you know, people should be talking, crying. And that's the way it is, folks. Good night and good luck. It's about your friend.
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free. He is, isn't he?
Norm MacDonald died yesterday. Did you know Norm well?
Well, not well. No one knew him well.
Yeah, no one knew him well. I worked with him. I spent a great deal of time with him, and I feel like I never knew him at all.
But huge fan. Mm-hmm. A guy who was not afraid to be too subtle for most people. Uh-huh. That's ballsy. Uh-huh. You know? He did the jokes he wanted to do. I love that.
You believe in Lord? I do.
You do? Are you religious?
I believe in God.
I do too.
That's as far as I go.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't need your buddy Bill Maher telling me I'm an idiot.
I don't like when atheists say all that shit. It pisses me off too. I'm glad you said that.
They don't know shit either.
So I want you to shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Who asked you?
I've never got the answer to the one question, which is why? Why Connecticut children? Why? Why a bomber in Boston? If there is a God, he's omnipotent.
Yes.
If he's omnipotent, he could prevent it.
Yes.
Why didn't he prevent it?
I don't know, man, but you got to
don't
stop
get in.
hanging out in that hot tub with Bill Maher all the time and it sounds like you got a God-shaped hole in your heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
Interesting thing. Some comedians, Larry, I feel, a comedian, what he should be doing is being funny. That should be his goal, to be funny. I feel some comedians, their goal is to be smart. And the funny is like a collateral thing. They want to be seen as smart. Your friend Bill Maher, for instance, you know, he wants to be seen as an intellectual.
Dennis Miller.
Nobody likes a guy smarter than them. That's the worst guy you can be. A guy smarter than the audience. They're going to hate you, you know?
Yeah, it's a very good observation.
All right, let's talk a little bit about China because, Paul, you are an expert. This is your book. As you can see, it looks like many of the menus that you get in restaurants.
I said it had to look like a Chinese menu.
It really does.
It must look like
exactly like a menu. But I know you know a lot about it, and I don't, but here's what I think.
Don't be silly. I heard you speaking Mandarin backstage.
Clinton just re-upped the most favored nation status, which some people have said we shouldn't do. They say we should break off relations with China because China, admittedly, has, you know, as bad a human rights record as Don King. I don't know. It's just bad. But China is a very isolationist country. Historically, they built a wall. I don't know if you know that. And if
That's the Berlin Wall.
No. That's a different wall. That's in Egypt. And if we break off with them, I think they'll just say, well, the hell with you, and go on doing what they're doing anyway. I think the only way to bring them into the family of nations, and I know this is what the president says, but not just this president, many others, is to engage with them. Why is that wrong?
It's not wrong. We already owe them so much money. We can't break off them. We have so many slave laborers and little kiddies earning 10 cents a day to make tennis shoes that we owe them a ton of money. We can't break off. I mean, they're not.
Of course
in other
we
words,
can break off. Of course we can break off. First of all, the president himself in 1992 attacked President Bush for coddling the butchers of Beijing. Do you remember that?
Well,
now
that
here
was
we
during
are.
a campaign.
He doesn't just want to extend most favored nation status permanently. He wants to toast them, celebrate them, honor them. I mean, can't we just trade with them? Do we have to respect them in the morning?
But the whole world, it's tough. The whole. I agree. I don't know why they're the most favored nation, but we do owe them a ton of money. The fact is that they make stuff for the whole world. Every Christmas decoration in the whole world is made in China. Forget Nikes, you know.
Well, that lets you know that the issue is money. Clearly, the issue has to be money. I was telling Ariana, I saw a documentary that really detailed the whole events in Tiananmen Square. I mean, and this was some really deep stuff. And if anyone saw that, you know, they would say, well, this is wrong. How can we support any regime or any government that supports this? It was like 2 weeks of Kent State, you know, day and night. But when it's not like, clearly the issue is money.
You approved of Tiananmen Square, so did Al Haig.
Yeah,
everyone's saying
it
doesn't make it right. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. I think it's despicable. I think it's an abomination. I think it's an abomination. I don't think we should give them most favored nation. I agree with you.
But why not? Because if we break off, other people will trade with them, and they won't change.
Everyone trades with them.
Isn't it hubris to think that we can change China any more than China could change us by making campaign contributions?
Do you know what's the percentage?
Well, we're bending. It's not just that we're not doing anything. We're bending over. The whole world is bending over for them and saying, "Do it to me." Okay? It's not.
On that note, Norm, stop.
But it's a fact. It is a fact. It is a fact. Because Clinton has a single-faceted policy, which is just trade, nothing else.
But also, do you know what percentage of our exports goes to China? Just 2%. So this is a big myth that somehow exports. Yes, the only 2%. That's not much. And on top of it, please explain to me why we don't give most favored nation status to Cuba, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, but we give it to China. It doesn't make any sense.
Because they got money. Cuba,
it's bucks.
Just like what about Saudi Arabia? They have human rights violations there, but they have oil. We don't even hear a peep out of that.
Well, that's where it's uneven. The policy is clearly uneven. And, right. I mean, you'd think that someone should come out and say this is what it is.
But what I find amusing is that no one knows. If people approve and say, Tiananmen Square, that's all right. But they don't know how many people got killed. They say, it's all right, might have killed a few. But no one, even Kissinger, brain that he is, doesn't know how many people got killed, but saying, it's okay. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, they said, it's okay, you have to disperse the students. No one knows how many got killed.
Well, how many, Mr. Expert?
Well, I don't know. That's the whole point. If I knew.
I'll tell you why nobody knows, because people forget a very important thing. The Chinese are a lot smarter than us. So it's hard to criticize. But some things we excel at that they don't. I mean,
one thing
I have never seen a Chinese guy in a porno. You know what I mean?
I got to take a break. We'll be right.
I was on Politically Incorrect a couple of times, and fuck, man, you have to have an opinion about every goddamn thing on that show. So,
or you can just do a little homework and write some jokes.
Yeah, but sometimes I remember at the break, like Scott Carter go, enough with the jokes. Yeah. But I'll never forget it. Like I'm very unlearned, and so before the show, Scott came in, who was the
producer. Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah.
So he said, "What do you think about China and Taiwan?" And seriously, I only know those as words, So I was like, I don't know anything. Like, can't I have another subject? So, anyways, then we get out because he goes because Bill believes this. I mean, anyways, when we get out, we're introducing the guy beside me, the smart guy, right? Mm-hmm. He wrote a book on China and Taiwan. Right. So fucking Bill Maher, he starts with me. He goes like, what was it, China and Taiwan? I go, I don't know. Fucking ask this guy. What do I know? I'm a nightclub comic. What? Like, that's what made me laugh at that show. Everyone's opinion's equal. Right. Right. Like a nightclub comic and an expert. And then another thing I always found funny about that show is
the comedians try to be very serious, and then the serious guys are trying to get jokes.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's not always our shining moment.
I do like Bill though.
No, Bill's great at what he does.
Yeah.
Like he started out a straight up joke dude, and he knows his shit. And it's pretty amazing.
You know what's funny about him? I don't know if I should say this or not, but I mean he's probably aware of it. When he does his monologue, have you noticed when he does his monologue, he does Johnny Carson?
No, no, definitely. He definitely models himself. I think that's been his style for a long time. He definitely takes the posture.
But I find it very funny because he's got the posture and the timing and everything, and he's like, and then she came in his face, but it's like crazy words come out.
And Carson would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, he probably would have. I would have got a thrill from listening to Johnny Carson because I haven't heard the guy in so long. And I love Johnny Carson. You love Johnny Carson. Sure. And so on that tape, they kept saying Johnny Carson on the 911 tape, and I thought it'd be him going like, I feel there's a yak on my chest, or something like
that. A spider monkey just peed on me. Can we get the paramedics here?
But
Call me to say goodnight, kiss me once or twice, I'll never let go of you. Fold me into your arms, stay with me till
let's talk about the military a little, because an important ruling came down last week from federal judge Shira Scheindlin, who said that they could now buy at the PX on the base dirty magazine, if you will. Big military support here. Yeah. It's a big military state.
Some deprived military personnel, we can see.
She also included videos in the ruling saying they were also protected by free speech, although the plots were kind of thin. Anyway, it was called the act that she overturned was called the Military Honor and Decency Act, which for years had banned the selling of this kind of material because they said in that act that they thought it would encourage sexual harassment. When now some people are saying maybe the opposite is true. A quick session with the pet of the month, and maybe that soldier is...
Yeah. You get sleepy. Don't you get sleepy?
What do you mean?
You don't want to rape somebody when you're sleepy.
Why are you sleepy?
Well, after you watch the porno. Listen, I like...
Norm, you have a strange metabolism.
Maybe it's those B12 shots you got.
Right. No,
You're in high school.
I like porno as much as the next guy, And I probably like it. I probably like it 100 times as much as the next guy. But although I have been watching. This is amazing because porno is my favorite kind of movie to watch, and yet. I've seen some pornos lately that my buddies have shown me. Have you seen these ones with all male casts? Gay pornos, they're called. These things are horrible. And there's thousands of them. They make thousands of them. They have not made one good one. And I'll tell you what the problem with it is. Quite seriously.
Yes, sir.
Quite seriously, the problem with these gay pornos every one guys having sex with each other. Who the hell wants to see that?
Maybe you're shopping in the wrong section of the store.
This is not for me.
I wonder if they can't have those in the military base then.
But
don't ask, don't tell, don't watch.
Right. That's an interesting question. I don't know if this ruling includes gay material on the base. Do you know?
Well, it's really ironic at a time when they're trying to sensitize the soldiers. They're sending them to training on how to treat women with respect, and now they're stocking the PXs with porno magazines. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's a mixed message, wouldn't you say?
Why?
Well, because these magazines degrade women. They do.
And I'll say one thing.
Why don't you just stand up for this segment? You know, like in a...
This is a little warning for people. Playgirl magazine has not got any girls in it.
I give up.
No, please, this hunk is done. But I don't see what you say. But they don't all degrade. You don't think Playboy
Well, I
degrades
don't look
women,
at
do
them.
you?
Obviously, I don't look at
Well,
them.
then how can you speak
I've
with
read
authority
about
if you
it,
don't
and
look at
I have a general idea of what's
Oh,
going on.
come on. Have you ever seen
Oh,
one?
yes, I have, but I don't. I don't go out of my way to look for them. No, I don't.
Well, Norm has some material in
Yes,
his,
I'll ask
dressing
Norm
room.
next time. I'll call him and.
He's got
see what he
thousands of
thinks.
videos. But they're all male. You might enjoy that.
No.
I also loved that I found out that he died after he died. Because to me, show business, we're here for you. You're not here for us. Now, I'm not judging anybody, but there are people who, whatever they're going through, they share it with the audience. Sometimes the audience loves that. I've never been in that camp. I'm not here to burden you. I'm here to lighten your burden. So the fact that Norm, now I didn't know about this, nobody knew about this. Good one, Norm.
Welcome back to React and Relax TV, guys, for another comedy reaction. All right, so I'm going to be checking out NORM MACDONALD. This one is real jerk. All right, so can't wait to check this one out. Wonder what? I wonder what he's going to say in this one, what this one is all about. All right, guys, it's Norm for sure. All right, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. Before you leave, you become a part of the family. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you all for watching. All right, so let's check this clip out.
And Albert Fish was born on this day in New York City in 1870.
Do you know the obituaries is concerning me? I'm a little worried because people are dying in alphabetical order.
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
What?
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
Oh, Albert Fish?
I've never heard of that guy.
He was known as the Gray Man.
The Grain Man?
The Gray
the
Man.
Grain.
The werewolf of Wisteria.
I
You know why he was known as the Gray Man? Because he was a serial killer. He slayed children and ate them. He's a cannibal. But when the police asked a woman to describe him, and she said he was gray in both appearances and demeanor. Very bad description.
This is like Arsenio when it was woo.
Yeah, woo.
But
anyways,
I'm pretending I know who Albert Gray is. I didn't.
No, Albert Fish.
Oh.
You're a New Yorker. So anyways, he was a child rapist and cannibal, as I explained.
When he's a child rapist, you try not to laugh when he looks at you.
Oh, come on, man. It's not funny.
I know it's not. But I know you want people to laugh.
But Fish boasted that he had children in every state. Now, I would not boast about that. I don't think you would. I don't think you'd do it.
Wow.
But if you did do it, you certainly wouldn't boast about it. You'd keep the...
A serial killer, a serial rapist who has children in every state and boasts about it. Exactly. Wow. Who would? So he's proud of what he does. He is very proud of him meaning woman right and molesting and doing all those crap and impregnating all these women and feel proud of doing it. Yeah.
Take that to the grave with you. But he boasted.
Wow. Well, they say they eventually sing like a canary.
They do say that?
About murderers, right?
Yeah,
they brag to a friend. When Norm bragged, sorry.
But Fish, this is interesting. Fish chose his victims.
What?
He only chose victims who were either mentally handicapped. Now, don't laugh at this next part, please.
But you know he wants you to, right?
No. If you laugh at this next part.
Okay. And I'm not
Fish chose victims who were either mentally handicapped.
Welcome back to React and Relax TV, guys, for another comedy reaction. All right, so I'm going to be checking out NORM MACDONALD. This one is real jerk. All right, so can't wait to check this one out. Wonder what? I wonder what he's going to say in this one, what this one is all about. All right, guys, you know it's numb for sure. All right, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. So before you leave, you become a part of the family. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you all for watching. All right, so let's check this clip out.
And Albert Fish was born on this day in New York City in 1870.
Do you know the obituaries is concerning me? I'm a little worried because people are dying in alphabetical order.
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
What?
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
Oh, Albert Fish?
I've never heard of that guy.
He was known as the Gray Man.
The Grain Man?
The Gray
the
Man.
Grain.
The werewolf of Wisteria.
You
know why he was known as the Gray Man? Because he was a serial killer. He slayed children and ate them. He's a cannibal. But when the police asked a woman to describe him, and she said he was gray in both appearances and demeanor. Very bad description.
This is like Arsenio when it was woo.
Yeah, woo.
But
But anyways.
I'm pretending I know who Albert Gray is. I didn't.
No, Albert Fish.
Oh.
You're a New Yorker. So anyways, he was a child rapist and cannibal, as I explained.
When he's a child rapist, you try not to laugh when he looks at you.
Oh, come on, man. It's not funny.
I know it's not. But I know you want people to laugh.
But Fish boasted that he had children in every state. Now, I would not boast about that. I don't think you would. I don't think.
Welcome back to React and Relax TV, guys, for another comedy reaction. All right, so I'm going to be checking out NORM MACDONALD. This one is real jerk. All right, so can't wait to check this one out. Wonder what? I wonder what he's going to say in this one, what this one is all about. All right, guys, you know it's numb for sure. All right, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. So before you leave, you become a part of the family. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you all for watching. All right, so let's check this clip out.
And Albert Fish was born on this day in New York City in 1870.
Do you know the obituaries is concerning me? I'm a little worried because people are dying in alphabetical order.
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
What?
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
Oh, Albert Fish?
I've never heard of that guy.
He was known as the Gray Man.
The Grain Man?
The Gray
the
Man.
Grain.
The werewolf of Wisteria.
You
know why he was known as the Gray Man? Because he was a serial killer. He slayed children and ate them. He's a cannibal. But when the police asked a woman to describe him, and she said he was gray in both appearances and demeanor. Very bad description.
This is like Arsenio when it was woo.
Yeah, woo.
But
But anyways.
I'm pretending I know who Albert Gray is. I didn't.
No, Albert Fish.
Oh.
You're a New Yorker. So anyways, he was a child rapist and cannibal, as I explained.
When he's a child rapist, you try not to laugh when he looks at you.
Oh, come on, man. It's not funny.
I know it's not. But I know you want people to laugh.
But Fish boasted that he had children in every state. Now, I would not boast about